Hello, you are watching news from Kazakhstan. I'm Marina Kim and here are the latest updates. Doctors of the Almaty Pediatric Center say they are not to blame for getting 47 children infected with hepatitis C. Following this scandal, Kazakh medics asked for an objective investigation, insisting on setting up a special supervisory examination team. Doctors say there could have been numerous causes of the infection and medical staff is not the only one to blame.
Medical staff accused of infecting children with hepatitis C cannot be called to responsibility for the lack of evidence. In particular, the source and the way of the mass infection have not been found so far. The concern about the situation was expressed by the Kazakh Association of Hepatologists to the Health Ministry on Tuesday, April 20th. Experts suggest conducting an investigation using American methods in order to determine the causes of the outbreak. I was at the Health Ministry for a meeting and this issue was never raised there at all. At the same time, representatives of the Ministry's Sanitary and Epidemiology Department know that these measures can be taken in similar circumstances, as it is one of the norms of special cases. At the end of 2009, parents of 100 children who were treated from the leukemia at the Almaty Pediatric Center found out that their children were infected with hepatitis C. The Health Ministry, which initially denied the problem's existence, was forced to investigate the situation after being pressured by the Prosecutor General and even Prime Minister. In late January, a specially set-up commission reviewed its findings, excluding the possibility of infection through the pediatric center. Investigators also said the infection was not caused by transfusions of blood and its components prepared by the National Blood Center. Of course, the mothers alone cannot solve the problem, thus the government, several NGOs and the press helped us to involve oncologists and physicians. Healthcare officials advanced the theory that the children were infected at dental clinics. The suggestion was followed with numerous inspections, resulting in suspension from work of 44 dental clinics, all with violation of sanitary regulations. 58 medical staff members out of the checked 8,000 were found to be carriers of hepatitis B and C. However, the above actions still left the main question unanswered. What and who is the source of the outbreak at the pediatric center? I cannot answer these questions. Address them in a written form to the press service. The Hematology Association does not believe the dental clinics theory and count on the special epidemiological investigation that can shed the light on the problem and prevent similar cases in the future.
Meanwhile, news agencies report that the grandson of the Kazakh President Aysultan Nazarbayev has completed his studies in the British Royal Military Academy Sandhurst. This elite institution in Berkshire is famous for its graduates that include Princes Charles and William, as well as British Prime Minister Winston Churchill. The course is designed for 1.5 years.
The son of the president's daughter, Dariga Nazarbayeva, an exiled politician Rahat Aliyev, was recognized as the best graduate in his class. During his time in Sandhurst, Nazarbayev became a skilled marksman and also obtained necessary public speaking and leadership skills, useful during the peace and wartime.
Official Astana is apparently preparing worthy successors for the current leadership of the country by staging a meeting at the museum of the first president of Kazakhstan between an initiative group of young people and members of Jaz Atan, the youth wing of the ruling party Nur Atan.
Are leaders natural born or any person can become one? This question was discussed on Tuesday by the youth of Kazakhstan at the museum of the country's first president, Nursultan Nazarbayev. Many members of Jaz Atan, the youth wing of the ruling party, were noticed in the attendance.
The shaping of leadership qualities depends on the environment, and we are going to be actively setting up this environment.
The main exhibition space of the museum's fourth floor is filled with gifts to the head of state. The mood of grandeur is set right at the entrance, where visitors have to pass 2 real cars and the replica of a plane. Perhaps this makes the younger generation realize that it still has a lot of time ahead to do something, but at the same time not enough time to proper understanding or everything. One day, one president's supporters wrote in our journal that we have done great deeds next to Nursultan Nazarbayev, yet we never had time to realize the true scale of these events. I think only the descendants will be able to really appreciate the entire depth of all reforms conducted during these 2 decades by our strong-willed president. This exhibition is primarily political. No one here is calculating the total value of the presented pieces, simply noting their importance. The main purpose of these gifts is either to express gratitude to the president or to win his appreciation. The museum still has a lot of space left, although Nazarbayev warned all potential gift givers that he will not accept any presents for this upcoming 70th anniversary.
There should be no celebrations of the anniversary. I will fire anyone who will launch some special projects for the 70th anniversary. I will not accept any presents either. Go prepare for the City Day and the 20th anniversary of Kazakhstan's independence.
The discussion continued for about an hour, and in the end, its organizers noted that the young panelists were unanimous in their opinions on the key issues.
Kazakh communists are getting ready for the 140th anniversary of Vladimir Lenin. A special conference held recently in Almaty was dedicated to the creative use of the legacy of the proletariat leader in today's activities of the left-wing party.
No matter how many generations change, Lenin's teachings will always remain up to date for all people, as if he was our contemporary and lived among us.
The celebration of Lenin's anniversary will be held in a traditional way. First, a rally near the monument to the communist leader, followed by several presentations, including Lenin in Kazakhstan, Lenin as the leader of the first people's state, and what do we know and do not know about Vladimir Lenin. The target audience for these events is usually not large but very loyal. Representatives of the Communist Party recognize the waning popularity of the ideas of Leninism, but as always not planning to give up their ideological work.
Yes, I must admit that the influence of Lenin's ideas is much weaker today and there are fewer opportunities to implement them, but this doesn't give us a reason to be inactive.
It is obvious that currently the Communist Party of Kazakhstan is not a serious political force, especially when it comes to opposition. The recent change of party's leadership is simply an attempt to boost the organization's activity. On Tuesday, communists held a press conference in Almaty, talking to reporters about their long-term and immediate plans.
The conference began with the discussion of the recent retirement of the Kazakh communist leader Sarik Boltsin Abduldin. His successor, Haziz Allamjarov, gives expected evaluations of the situation within the party after the change of its leadership and does not plan to make any significant policy changes.
I believe that the party has the strategy and tactics as well as the vision. We will continue working as usual.
The leader of the Communist Party resigned last Saturday. Given that he and the president have long been working together, the former's leaving his post is seen by many as a practical advice to Nazarbayev to follow his example.
Of course, I could have stayed and fought until he leaves, but he will never resign voluntarily, so why should I wait for his dark days like those of late Turkmenistan leader Turkmenbashi? At the same time, we don't have any legal conditions for the change of power. I think that Abduldin has set a good example, and if Nazarbayev will follow it, our entire society will benefit from it.
Another topic raised at the conference was the preparation for the demonstration on May 1st, where the communists might join forces with the unregistered party Alga, even though there are no talks of any further consolidations of the two movements.
Perhaps the authorities will not want to seem stupid by sending us to have a demonstration at the square because, understanding marching between the monuments to Lenin and Kirov will look like a circus rather than an expression of people's unity and protest.
The joint demonstration could be called just a necessary measure, if not a general trend towards the unification of opposition forces, even of such diverse ones as Communist and still not registered party Alga.